So we're all familiar with bottom brackets that aren't aligned, but how do we actually measure it and prove it? We've probably seen Hambini do his videos with some very elaborate measurements, but that's not actually available to all bike shops or even home mechanics. So this bike's just come into us. Now, this is a really good example of what happens. This customer has been going back to the Cannondale dealer time after time and after time and just being sold a new bottom bracket and a new crankset under the belief that better quality is always going to solve the problems. And it does for a little while. And then that creak comes back and those bearings don't last as long as you thought they would do after the salesman sold it to you. And eventually he found our YouTube channel, came into us and said, I've been having this problem for years. What can you find out? And this is our process of measuring it. So first off, we've got the little gauges that Hambini made for us. We had something similar before this, but these ones are so much better. So this is a PF30. So we're looking for a 46mm hole. We've got 45.95. And this is our first check. Is the hole actually undersized? And actually, on both sides, this is pretty good. It works pretty well. Now, before you do this, I should say, make sure you meticulously clean this. Get rid of any sort of residue of retaining compound, everything before you start. The next tool we use is a bore gauge. Fairly simple tool. You can pick these up fairly cheaply. Now, these are quite good for checking if something is a bit more egg-shaped or ovalized, because you can take a horizontal measurement, you can take a vertical measurement, and you can take, you know, the southeast, southwest type measurements as well. And you can sort of get an idea if there's an ovalization going on and to the extent of it as well. But that's about all you could learn from that. And then finally, we have a set of parallels. And this is really where we start thinking about the problem that's with this bike. And the clues are all here as to what's going on. I'll show you the crankset in a second. So with a set of parallels, these are a slide, and we've set these to the same 45.95 of the Hambini gauge. And we can just try and slide these in, and it should be a pretty tight fit. And we go on the vertical axis first, and that doesn't quite go through the other side, it stops. And we can take a feeler gauge and see the extent of which that stops. And I've done this before off camera, obviously, and we've got a 0.15 gap at that north-south attitude. And we just keep working our way around the compass points with that and seeing where the tight spots are. And again, we've got a bigger gap up here. We come to our horizontal, and we come to our, and this one actually slides through as it should. So what this is telling us is that the non-drive side is slightly further forward and high compared to the drive side. Now, luckily on this particular bike, we've got even more evidence, because here on the axle, we have all the witness marks. In fact, these witness marks are more than just a witness mark. It's a deep gouge here, and where this has been spinning with the customer's power coming from the other leg and throwing that out of alignment, this gauge line has actually been coming from the part inside the bearing seat here. So against the inside of this, there is like a little lip and the bearing and then the little top cap. So this gauge mark has actually been made from the inside of this bottom bracket housing, and it's made a real mess of it. So now we have a decision. We've got some evidence there that says that these two holes are out of alignment, and we have a choice to make. Now, sadly, this frame is quite old. It's probably out of warranty. I don't think Cannondale are going to take too kindly of a frame that is old, but this should have been picked up by the bike shop a long time ago. So this is where the Hambini bottom bracket is the absolute ideal fix. That one piece bottom bracket, you can bond it all in, get that perfect alignment right. That is the right thing to do. In this particular case, the customer has looked at the price of that Hambini bottom bracket, and he's looking at the price of a new crankset as well, and has decided it's probably now time to invest that money in a new frame. So this one, we're going to strip down for parts and sell it on. So if you're interested in a super lightweight Cannondale SuperSix with a slight bottom bracket problem, give us a shout. All right, I hope that video was useful to us. Please get your comments down below. Again, you always learn more from the comments in this video. This is just to get us started. All right, thanks for watching. Take it easy.